Hi, this is Rabbi Chaim Kaufman. Welcome to our 279th installment in the Torah portion of the week. We are holding by Parshat Shemini. Parshat Shemini talks about the priestly service. Parshat Shemini talks about the death of Nadav and Avihu. Spoken about previous videos about why potentially they died. Talks about the laws of kashrus, right? What you're allowed to eat, not allowed to eat, etc. And the end, very last verse in the parsha, right? In verse 46, or let's say better, in verse 46, it says, "This is the laws of the animal, the bird, every living creature that swarms in the water, every creature that teems on the ground." And verse 47, the last verse, to distinguish between the contaminated, the pure, between the creature that may be eaten, creature that may not be. So the Torah is telling me what I'm allowed to eat, what I'm not allowed to eat. Goes through all the details, so to speak, even though we don't really understand why. It's a law that's it's a hoax, right? A law we can't necessarily fathom. But Torah tells me these are things you're allowed to eat, not allowed to eat, etc. Says Moira Rebbe, Arav Agon Ramoshes Moshlita should be well. And it brings down in commentary in Chumash Talmudas. And it brings down through a hint. There's a hint over here. He said, I explained what is the difference between something pure and impure. Right? Depends a lot on the mother. When the mother gives birth, right? The mother's a pure animal. All things being equal, ritually slaughtered properly, the animal's kosher. If the animal not slaughtered properly or some imperfection in the mother, going to be a problem, right? It won't be kosher. So Rebbe here says a lot's dependent on the mother. That if she ate things that are forbidden to eat, then that child, that offspring is going to be forbidden. Let's say better, that offspring is going to be impure. But if the mother was careful from eating things that were forbidden, right? In other words, careful not to eat things that are forbidden, and she guards herself on that, then the child that comes out is going to suck from her, right? It's going to get holiness. It's going to get purity. Why? Because the mother ate what she should eat, right? She ate kosher things, and the child, it's going to have a positive effect. It's going to have a positive effect on the child. It's going to help the child to grow into Torah, learn Torah, and Maisim Torah, 2 mitzvahs. The Rebbe over here says there's a connection on what the mother eats and how possibly the child turns out. Now, someone's going to say, science hasn't proven it. Right? We got no proof that what you are what you eat. Because even though the Kli Yakar, one of the great commentaries on the Chumash, says over here by the laws of kashrus, that you see these laws don't apply to non-Jews. Right? Why the laws of kashrus not apply? Because you see the Kli Yakar says non-Jews eat all kinds of things, creepy crawly things and who knows what, right? Not including the bats and Wuhan. Okay, but it doesn't affect them in a negative way. So since it doesn't affect them in a negative way, it doesn't apply to them. Oh, it comes on the Torah and says that you can't eat it. Why not? Why not? The one opinion is because we are what we eat. Can have a negative effect, even though science hasn't proven it. Okay. Yeah, but there are a lot of things going on over here. Right? My Rebbe says, okay, it's a hint. It's a hint over here to say that if a mother eats the right thing, child will turn out all right. Right? In other words, the child's going to grow in Torah, Maisim Torah. Going to grow in Torah, doing good things, keeping Torah mitzvahs. Yeah, what's the problem with that statement? Problem is, it's not a guarantee. There's a tremendous pull of the street. Maybe a person got learning disability. Maybe the parents don't get along. Maybe, there could be a number of issues. Where the child could, God forbid, go astray. But what's Rabbi here saying? Rabbi saying the effect of a mother while the child's inside, the effect of what she eats can have a tremendously positive effect. Can have a tremendously positive effect on the child. Now, is that the only thing that affects the child? No. Child's affected by its environment, family, friends, everything around them. Right? So biblically, if Torah mitzvah, person has to keep kosher. Right? If they're a Jew. Non-Jew doesn't apply. If they don't keep kosher, Torah, the Gemara says, not only going to purify the heart, it's going to make the heart dull. It's going to dull the heart. It's going to make it harder for a person to listen to Torah mitzvah. That's why someone who comes back to Judaism as a Jew, first thing they're going to tell them is to keep kosher and keep Shabbos. Keep kosher, get this other garbage out of their system. Right? So they can listen to Torah. Right? And Shabbos is declaration that God runs the world. That God's in charge. If you make Kiddush Friday night, you say, it's the Mitzrayim. Right? We remember the coming out of Egypt, we stand Friday night when we make Kiddush. Because the first paragraph is Genesis chapter 2. Beginning of Genesis chapter 2, God stopped creating. Right? Created Shabbos. So why do I have to stand? That's how I give testimony. Right? I'm giving testimony. Very good. So that's going to imbibe a Jew to understand God runs the world. Why? You're not working on that day. Can't make money. Right? Everything stops. Gotta go to shul. Gotta go to synagogue. Gotta pray. Gotta learn. You have 3 meals. You have 3 very nice meals. You have to know how to enjoy Shabbat. Right? How to get into spirituality. Yeah, so there are a lot of other factors involved, okay? Right? No one's going to disagree because the pull of the street and the environment is crucial. It can either make a person or break a person. Right? Destroy a person. But my Rebbe is saying you got a fighting chance here. Because when a person is born, the person's in the mother's stomach for 9 months or however long, right? What's going to happen? The mother keeps kosher. Child gets it. Child gets all the nutrients. Right? Gets everything it needs. Yeah, but what comes from the mother, the holiness of what she eats has an effect on the child. Now, does that mean that child's going to turn out exactly the way we want? No. There are other factors involved. Okay? What we're saying is the child right now has a much greater fighting chance to come out okay than not okay. You're going to say, but come on. Whatever the mother eats, okay, I get it, can have a tremendously positive effect on the child. Okay? Is that enough to cause the child to go in the straight and narrow path? What's the answer? You don't know. No guarantee in life except 2 things. Right? Really a stupid statement. Right? The only 2 things guaranteed in life. Death, taxes. Right? Not necessarily in that order. Just because the person came from a certain family. Yeah, even his mother kept kosher and he's got all this genealogy, all this great genealogy. Great. Is that going to ensure that they stay on the straight and narrow path, and they stay an ultra Orthodox Jew? No guarantee. Heard this many times. People say, we'll see what happens with your kids. Yeah, we'll see. But at least they had a fighting chance. He's growing up. They went to the right schools or the schools that were appropriate for them. They got a real Jewish education. Okay, it's their choice if they want to keep it or not. Right? It's everybody's choice. People say, see what happens with your kid. What's the alternative? Heard someone say, you're a fanatic and all the ultra-Orthodox Jews are all fanatics and this and that. Okay, But they agree in the same breath, without you, Torah will be forgotten. Okay? They know the truth. They've been brainwashed by the left. Okay? But they know the truth. They admitted the truth, which very few people do. Yeah, they said without you, Judaism doesn't survive. But you can't be a fanatic. You don't have both ways. The only way. Right? Either you look like us or you disappear. That's the end result. Right? That's the bottom line. But you got to give. We have to give our kids the best chance. The most successful chance for them to stay as Orthodox Jews. Is there a dropout rate? Yeah. The problem. I agree. I don't think it's up to 10%, but even so, it's a problem. Right? That's not the topic here. But at least they have a fighting chance. They know what it is. They know what Torah is. So it's easy to come back in certain ways. But at least they started out on the right track. They got what they needed or what they should have needed. Again, it doesn't mean the system is perfect. What it means over here is, as my Rebbe says, they got the beginning, they started out in holiness. What they were fed, what went through their system is holy. Because it's kosher. Doesn't mean it's healthy. It means it's holy because, if it's kosher. So that has a tremendously positive effect. And he says that can help them reach, great things. That can help them to grow in Torah mitzvah. It's huge. Does that mean the mother didn't eat kosher? Yeah, the kid doesn't have a chance. He's fighting behind the 8 ball. Right? He's going to have a hard time. It doesn't mean the person cannot come to Torah mitzvahs. It's going to be harder. It's going to be much more difficult. Why? Very simple. Because we mentioned before, a person, at least the Jew, is what they eat. Right? So it's going to impurify their soul. It's going to dull their soul, literally. By trying to start a Jeep with a 9-volt. Good luck. It's going to be very hard. That means it's going to be impossible to come back? No. But they're fighting an uphill battle. You're going to say, but the mother didn't know anything, etc. You're right. Mother didn't know. The father didn't know. The child's at a disadvantage. Okay? But the child could grow in Torah mitzvahs. Right? Some point could come back. But it's like they have one hand or two hands tied behind their back. It's going to be harder. Impossible? No. Never impossible. We never say impossible. Right? That even if a sword, the Gemara says, even if a sword is against a person's neck, God can still have mercy. You might die, but God can have mercy and save you. There's always mercy. Yeah, but at the same time, a person has to realize we have to own up and do what we need to do. But a person was put at a disadvantage. Okay. Person could be put at a disadvantage. Yeah, it doesn't mean they can't come back. On the flip side, again, I'll be a little more depressing here. On the flip side, a person can have all, everything in spiritual terms. Mother keeps kosher, family's been religious for generations, this, that, very good. Is that a guarantee? No. Not a guarantee. Because we say the Torah is not a Yerusha. Torah is not an inheritance. Just because the person's father's a rabbi and his father's a rabbi generations later, generations before and all that, very good. Guarantee? No guarantee. Big shoes to fill. True? Very big shoes to fill. Yeah, so you have an advantage. Definitely have an advantage. Rebbe, you're saying, right, exactly that point. Then if you started out in holiness, that's going to help you to grow to Torah and Mice and Torah. That's going to help you to grow in Torah and doing good deeds. Right, and keeping Torah. And doing mitzvahs. 100% guarantee? No. Right? Nothing guaranteed. You have no idea what a person is going to be like, what their struggles are going to be, right? What their trials are going to be. Sometimes trials are very hard. Person may not be able to overcome the trial, whatever it is. Okay, so what do? You got to fight. The Mesilas Yesharim, the Michal says in Path of the Just, we're in this world to want to toil, to struggle. That's our obligation. Okay? Some struggles are easier, some are harder. Right? So here my Rebbe is saying you want to start out an advantage. And that advantage is the mother's religious, eats what she should eat, right? Keeps kosher to, whatever extent, hopefully the best extent they can. And they pass that down. They pass that down to their child, to their unborn child. That child, okay, comes out differently than others. Why? Because it's got all that spiritual reinforcement. Not just learning Torah with an angel. That's a different issue. It's a whole different thing. But here they got that spiritual nourishment for what the mother eats. Tell me, science hasn't proven it. Okay, so what? A lot of things we mentioned many times. Science hasn't proven it. So what? Doesn't mean it's not true. Doesn't mean it doesn't have an effect. But if people say, I can only, I would only agree if I could see it. It was proven. It was not proven, so, rabbis tell us it's true. Absolutely tell us it's true. People believe in science. They worship science. Science knows everything. If it can't be proven, not worth it. Yeah. So what about COVID? People think it's a hoax. Less people died from it. Okay. Then I might agree. Right? Numbers are skewed. I'll tell you one thing. Believe in the vaccine. You don't believe in the vaccine. You believe in COVID. You don't believe in COVID. What's the bottom line? The medical establishment looks foolish. That's the bottom line. One little micro. Turn the world upside down. Totally upside down. I'm not necessarily into conspiracy theories, right, in general. But that's what it did. Made doctors look stupid. So what does that say about science? Right? What does that say? It means science has a long way to go. There's a lot of things science doesn't know and science hasn't proven. But people take it like the word of God. Yeah. Can't worship science. We see how foolish the doctors looked over here. The whole world shut down, the whole panic. Okay, people don't want to get it. People don't want to die from it. Again, whether you believe it or not, that's not the point here. Right? The point is, what does science do? Everyone wears masks, social distancing. Does it really help? Some people say, yeah, of course it helps. Does it really help? Practically speaking. Use Israel as guinea pigs. Herd immunity. And still, numbers spike like no tomorrow. So what happened? Everything they did, everyone looked bad. Every country looked bad in what they did, or they tried to do. What did it show? The medical establishment knows diddly. They know very little. There's a lot they do know, okay? What they do know, they do know. They have to admit there's a lot they don't know. And regardless of whether it's proven or not, science is not the final authority. Never has been, according to the Torah. It's not the final authority. Yeah, so we have to keep in mind that even though science hasn't proven it, this has an effect. As the rabbis tell us, has an effect. The mother keeps kosher, properly keeps kosher. Child, it's a different child coming up. Why is a different child? Because it's got all these purities inside. Protecting it. Guarantee? No. Child can have other trials and this and that. That's not going to help. Right? It may not help. Stop them from going in the wrong direction. But I would say it's a better start than eating all that garbage and having a negative effect on the soul. So I remind everyone I have a class on duties of heart every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, on the book of self-accounting. We're holding by the gates of self-accounting. I have 2 Q&As every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Israel time. Pirkei Avos, Ethics of Our Fathers, every Saturday, 2:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Israel time. Sunday, Book of Leviticus, chapter 16, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And No-Hide Nations, No-Hide Laws, every Sunday, 2:30 Eastern time, 9:30 Israel time. I have conversion classes. Anyone interested in any of this, find me on Facebook at Michael Chaim Kaufman or Beyond Orthodox Conversion Judaism. Or you can take a look at my blog, orthodoxconversion.com, or on YouTube, Beyond Orthodox Conversion Judaism. So I have all my Q&As there, my weekly Torah portion of the week, Ethics of Our Fathers, controversial issues. Right? Anyone want to send me an email? RabbiChaimKaufman@gmail.com, RBBIChaimKaufman@gmail.com.